We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Detroit Lions and the Washington Commanders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Now this defense for the Lions, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll keep it on the ground. Fitzpatrick. Oh, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Stanley to throw. And Olsen over the middle. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
2nd and 6. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. On 4th down, Stanley. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Throwing is Stanley. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Will Lutz on for the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And the Lions Lions are going to take possession of the football.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
Stanley. He's got this to Williams, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And in for the Lions, touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead.
Commanders nothing. Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. On first down, it's Herbert. Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Herbert operating from the red zone. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. His second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are back within a score. And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. This taken in at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Now Stanley. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. From the gun, here's Swift. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Stanley looking to pass. And Sharp calls it in. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 18. A gain there of 21 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Here's Swift.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown.
DeAndre Swift.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Lions have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass.
This is Rager with it on the crossing pattern.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
10 yards there. Good for a Washington first down. And they'll try a jet sweep. It's Rager.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. This pass is caught by London.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 23. On 1st and 10, Herbert.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
On 2nd and 10, the ball back with Herbert. And this is incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
Jalen Rager was the intended receiver.
And it's 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3.
They snap it to Herbert. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert. And they turn it over.
Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out.
And the Lions will take over. Throwing to start the drive. Stanley
throws out left. It's caught by Williams.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And caught left side, Olsen.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. A play fake. Now Stanley.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
K'Lavon Chason, the former flush router, in there to get the sack.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And they've got the hookup. This is Olsen. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the 1st, right around the 42.
They'll try it now with Swift.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
Jonah Jackson, former 3rd-round pick, the guilty party.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
To throw again on second down. Herbert over the middle, complete. That's Stewart. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now a handoff up the middle. George. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
Herbert wants to throw it on 3rd and 1. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught, so they do get it. And the 2 points. Now they're back down to a 1-score deficit. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of hunger.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Give that sack to the Kobe Dean. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
It's certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the 1st down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
37 yards on the punt with no return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Herbert now. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a 2nd one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Herbert. Got his man. It's London. And he's going to have a Commander's 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 19. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs. Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
Back to the air, Herbert on 2nd down. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I would guess that combined, if you spoke to both defenses, neither side has a lot to celebrate today. They haven't had a lot of stops, but that one right there, that's a big one because they stole points away with that play. And just as importantly, picked up a key stop on an offense that's been really impressive here in the early going.
Throwing is Stanley. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Stanley. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. We need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit.
Announcer kind of speechless, cannot explain what just happened there. Utter lunacy. He ran the wrong way the length of the field and gave up a safety.
I have to think the sooner halftime can get here for them, the better, because that first half has been rough, and that safety, it only adds to their issues. The other sideline, though, I think they're fine if we just skip the break and keep playing.
Taking it about the 16. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Now Stanley. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here's Stanley to throw.
Incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Stanley looking to pass.
Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. 35 yards that time on the punt.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
13 yards there on a Washington first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked up by John Johnson. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Throwing to start the drive. Stanley. And he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, given where that drive started, that's an excellent job defensively to force them into 4th down.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So this drive maybe didn't end with the same kind of success they had in the first half, but they do add 3 to their lead.
And defensively, I think they went in there at halftime and made a pact with each other and said, look, we can't let these guys keep driving it right down our throats. Not perfect giving up 3, but a much better start than the way they played in the first half.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Herbert. And that one almost intercepted. Boy, he's got 2 already, nearly a 3rd, but not to be, and it's 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
They snap it to Herbert. This pass is caught by London. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Herbert throwing again. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. T.J. Edwards leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week, and this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back, and they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out, they're trying to increase the pressure.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
On fourth down, Herbert hitting London coming across the field. And this is going to wind up working out just fine as he'll have a Washington first down. And an exhale there as they convert on fourth.
And that's what you've got your tough little slot receiver for, isn't it? Right there, those fourth down conversions in the middle of the field.
He knows that's where he has to make his living, and that's where he has to make plays to help his team. And no one is asking him to do anything more or less than do exactly what we saw there.
A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Into the hands of London. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 27-yard line.
On first and 10, it's Robinson.
The tackle there by John Johnson.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And the man open here is strong.
Touchdown, Washington.
A 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the Commanders have got it back to within a score.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it.
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. If they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
To throw on 3rd down, Stanley. Man open, and St. Brown has got him. A big play there for Detroit. 55 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Swift going to try up the middle.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Stanley. And his throw is incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Stanley. And it's caught by Olsen. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
A quick throw complete into the flat out left. Touchdown! That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They begin the drive with Robinson.
He'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
That'll be caught. Rager with it.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Herbert going to keep it on his sneak.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. 2 yards is the pickup.
Good for a Commander's 1st down.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with it back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Herbert now. This is Rager with it on the crossing pattern.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Let's go. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
He's got room at the 30, and he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Stanley. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he is going to have a Lions first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way and worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's a handoff to Swift.
He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Stanley. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Herbert. And quickly finding Rager. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Herbert back to the air. And unable to connect on the long pass. He actually brings it in, but he was out of bounds, incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Herbert wants to throw it on 3rd and 1. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Here's Stanley to throw. 20! That one good for 37 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Swift again, but he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Swift. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Back now on EA Sports as the kick teams are out here following the 2-minute warning. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try to put points on the board.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Here's a screen for Robinson. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. Got his man. It's London. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Throws right back to London, complete again. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. This pass is caught by London. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's 2nd and 10.
One last throw here for Herbert. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the Lions come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Lions, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons.
Meanwhile, for the Commanders,
they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants.